I'm from Calcutta and I was in sales, which was in media only.
Oh, okay. You were in media sales in Calcutta.
Yeah.
Which publication, if you don't mind? I was never into this. I always thought my meditation is in the gym.
I had a friend, she calls me at 3 a.m. She was like, Sue, come. I said, I'm back home. She said, Arey, I've just come. I said, कोई बात नहीं, कल मिलेंगे. She said, no, nothing doing. तुम अभी वापस आओ. I said, पागल हो क्या? I'm not coming back. She said, तुम नीचे आओ. I'm coming to pick you up right now. And she said, Singapore में कोई करेगा क्या ऐसा? I said, Singapore में तो कोई नहीं करेगा. You've got a point. Yeah. I'm coming down right now. Actually, there was no structure to how I got started. Yes, I was an active kid who actually played a little bit of badminton, went for a swim, all of that. It's not like one fine morning kind of a moment. I can start with my stories from where I left, and I still have the same friends that I had when I was younger. They know my stories, I know their stories.
How many people you would typically like just call and talk to?
But now I've started doing that. I've just realized, I think the old ways were great. Just picking up the phone and just calling. This one time I had a surgery. I was in the Raffles hospital and they said, we can't discharge you. I said, but no, you have to discharge me. I mean, I have to go home. No way I was going to wait because I was just itching to work out.
Either you'll do extreme or you won't do. Are you still that sort of a mindset when it comes to fitness?
My fitness journey is personal and at the same time a little bit intense. If it's not extreme, I'm not going to do it.
When you chose fitness as that something that you want to keep in control, did that satisfy you to a certain extent? Did that mentally calm you down?
It distracted me.
Welcome to another episode of Chilling Out with Shuvrosen. Today's chat is going to be absolutely candid. Nothing discussed with my guest. I've just invited her and asked her to be as frank about her fitness and nutrition regime, because she's somebody who has done crazy stuff. What she's going to share with us today is her learnings, things that you should do, things you shouldn't do, and a lot of banter along the way. So I welcome you, Sunanda, on the podcast.
Thank you, Shuvro. Lovely to be here.
Thank you. How are you feeling today? Nervous?
Yeah, a little bit.
Why do you feel nervous? So that's why, the name of the podcast is Chilling Out with Shuvrosen.
Yeah.
So you just have to be very candid. Just say, सोच लो कि हम लोग coffee पी रहे and just having a conversation.
Okay.
The reason I try and get people in my podcast is because people like you have so many interesting stories, but I think have not been told properly yet, and that can be a source of inspiration or an insight for a lot of people who are seeing.
Okay.
So on that note, kicking off the podcast today, so how are you feeling now? Are you still nervous?
No, I'm okay.
Great. Okay. So tell me something. Now the Sunanda that I know is somebody who is absolutely crazy when it comes to fitness, right? So it's nothing mediocre for you. Either you'll do extreme or you won't do, right? So are you still that sort of a mindset when it comes to fitness?
So my fitness journey is personal and at the same time a little bit intense. And it's not about if it's not extreme, I'm not going to do it, because not doing it is not something which has been an option for me. I mean, I will find a way to show up for myself every single day. I mean, I don't know. The
question is, have you matured over a period of time? So now that you're saying that, okay, fine, kuch kar lete hai, better than not doing anything, right? So has that maturity come over a period of time, or how are you treating this journey? Because was fitness, when you got into fitness, was that a outcome or a pathway for something more deeper and meaningful, or you just wanted to be fit and look a certain way?
Actually, there was no structure to how I got started. Yes, I was an active kid who actually played a little bit of badminton, went for a swim, all of that. It's not like one fine morning kind of a moment. That it happened one fine morning. I woke up and I said I want to be fit. I was always like that skinny kid in school. And in India, if you're thin, you're fit. And again, it wasn't like a goal or something. There were some things happening in my life which felt they were not in my control at that point in time. And wanted something in my life which is in my control. So that's when this whole thing with fitness started. And at that time, it started with a little bit of an obsession, like anything that starts. And I would be weighing myself with precision every single day. And every time I weighed myself, like I wanted to weigh less than what I weighed the previous time. So I was literally competing with myself. Nobody else knew what I was doing, but I knew what I was doing. And not like there was a specific fitness routine I was following, and not like I was following a nutrition guide or something either. In fact, I had a very long do not eat list which kept growing. I could not eat a lot of things because I just decided I can live without eating these. And even in terms of the fitness, I mean, I went down to becoming like really skinny, where people would question me, what's wrong with you? Obviously, it had a little bit of repercussions in terms of people just asking me questions all the time about why I was so thin. It didn't bother me. And over a period of time, and it's not like, and there was an obsession with numbers. And I'll tell you how it was.
We'll get into the number game. Right now, it's sounding interesting. A couple of things I took from the initial part that you mentioned here. You said there's a lot of things in your life not in your control. However, you started fitness because that came as a channel where you saw that, okay, chalo, this is in my control, my eating habits are in my control, my exercise pattern is in my control, तो चलो इसको तो कंट्रोल कर सकता हूँ, भले लाइफ में हो रहा है कुछ कंट्रोल हो रहा है नहीं हो रहा है, so that mindset, right? Now the reason I want to deep dive into it here is there are couple of paths that people can take, right? So either you can go partying and drinking and you can get wasted. Some people go into drinking, some people go into fitness like you, and then when you start seeing results, right, that's when you become obsessed. So when you chose fitness as that's something that you want to keep in control, did that satisfy you to a certain extent? Did that mentally calm you down?
It distracted me.
It distracted you?
Yeah. Okay. It distracted me because suddenly I was focusing on something else obsessively, and maybe I just need to be obsessed with something or the other. It's just how I'm wired. And at that point in time, it was fitness. And while now, 15 years later, maybe more, it's become a way of life. It's just part of my DNA. It's not like someone needs to tell me you need to work out. And there have been extreme circumstances where you wouldn't expect somebody to be working out, like just gotten out of a surgery or just finished a 15-hour flight, but nothing stops me. And I don't even care what people around me say, because people are like, just take a break, just take it easy. Are you crazy? Especially the people who see me up close. But neither does it encourage me to do more, because I can't do more than what I do, or do less. So yeah. So
now you started because you found it as a distraction to keep yourself busy with something which apart from things which is not in your control, but now it's become a part of your life, right? But somebody who is in fitness and probably you did not get into fitness consciously or with a well-planned routine, as you mentioned. You just jumped into it, right? So you probably challenged yourself, as you mentioned, that no eat list or no food list or something of that sort. So what was that again? Was there a dopamine hit there saying that, okay, आज नहीं खाऊंगी या छोड़ दूंगी इसको तो छोड़ दूंगी, and I can do it?
So when I was telling you, coming back to when I was talking about the numbers thing, it would be as strange as this. I would wake up in the morning with one number in my head. It could be 5. And I'd say, Asha, 5. What am I going to do today? Okay, 500 burpees, 500 sun salutations, 50 rounds of stairs, 150 rounds of stairs. Everything was multiplied by 5. It would be 5 cups of tea. If I'm going out, 5 drinks. At that point in time, I did not know why I was doing it, But if I picked a number, I decided to just go with it, like all the way. I did it for years, okay, till I decided to do something different. But that's how it was. I've gotten better. I'm not saying I'm completely.
But do you think that approach was right? No, right? Because
it was extreme. Of course, it was extreme.
It was extreme. The way you were utilizing fitness as a weapon to sort of keep you sane or keep you distracted, and the things that you just mentioned that you had been doing is something that you also wouldn't advise. Now that you know how it's supposed to be done, then that's not something that you would advise, right?
No. I mean, either you can be a good example or a terrible warning. I think I was a warning in many ways in terms of what I did for fitness. Luckily, I came out on the other side with like no injuries as such, and mentally being okay. But physically, I just felt I could push any limit. Like, I'd go for a swim, for example. I was able to do 50 laps, which was quite easy for me. Then I said, okay, 50 is quite okay. Why don't we do 100? After that, 100 became very okay for me. Then I went on one morning and I said, today I'm going to do 200. I said this to myself, and there was no way I was coming out of the water without finishing 200 laps.
Okay,
I just did it.
Wait. This is interesting. So that jump from 50 to 100 and 100 to 200 would be overnight. You just decide, because see, in fitness, typically you would go from 50 to 70 and then push, and then you reach 200. But this is in your mind that you decide ki, boss, aaj to 200 karna hai. Bhale you are doing half of it, but you will not give up.
No. And I know this. I didn't have a coach, nor did I have a nutritionist. I was eating like exactly the same thing that I would eat had I just gone to the gym for an hour, vis-a-vis 200 laps of swim. But I would not stop. I don't know where the endurance came from, but I think if you just dig really deep, you just find that fuel. And you realize it's just so much more mental than physical. And again, it started with the whole obsession with weighing myself, and now it's the exact opposite. I will not weigh myself no matter what. I just don't want to know. Unless and until it's a medical exam and I have to weigh myself, I will not do it.
So what is the measure of success now? On a day-to-day, your fitness regime, what is the measure of success? Because I see that you have matured in your fitness journey. It started as an obsession. You were doing crazy things. Now you realize that since you are enjoying the process now, so you are looking for longevity. You are looking for things that can keep you healthy in the long run. So what is your measure of success? If you are not looking at the scale, not the fat percentage, what is it for you?
So when I started, I was in my late 20s. Now I am 44. And I think a couple of years ago, I realized I want to be doing something that I can do for the rest of my life. If I'm running, and if I'm just running like 10 kilometers every second day, and which is not great for my knees, because I would start feeling the pains, and again I would self-cure. Never went to a physio or any of those things, because they would tell me to slow down, so which wasn't an option for me. So I said, maybe I just need to focus on something that I can sustain for the rest of my life. So I still managed to take out an hour for sure, first thing in the morning before I do anything else, to get my workout in. But it's not like I need that twice a day, thrice a day. So from that point from where I started to where I am now, it's more like I just need to get this in. I don't need to measure anything. I think I have somehow tricked my metabolism at 44 to be what it used to be when I was in my 20s. So that I'm pretty confident.
And it seems to be working for you, right? So both physically, both mentally, it seems to be working for you. More sustainable. You're enjoying. You have a parallel life, and not doing 200 laps there and then running around. So you have come out of this phase, right? So I mean, excellently put the way you did that, right? So there are two kind of people that we can learn from. One is what to do, what not to do. So she herself here in the podcast today is advising you guys is certain things that you should be cautious about. Look for sustainable health practices, fitness regimes that you can continue for a long time. And precisely that's the reason I think, when somebody who is interested कि चलो आज से ना शुरू करते हैं with whatever goal it is, they will directly go to the gym and then exactly after 5-7 days they are done. Or even with diet, so-called the diets, you start and then you boom, it's gone after 5-7 days. So I think what she's trying to say here is she fought it out mentally. She dig deep and with rigor she fought it out. But if you are in your day-to-day life doing a lot of other bunch of stuff, then probably have a sustainable routine, and that will help in longevity, and that will help you in sticking to the plan, right?
Yeah, and maybe find variety. And also fitness is not one size fits all. What might look like fitness to me might be different from what your goal is. For me, fitness is not about being of a certain weight anymore, or it's just about feeling good, feeling that I can get up in the morning and I can do whatever I need to. I am self-sufficient. Also, it's good to add variety. I've done a lot of things and I'm very much self-taught. So whether it's CrossFit or kickboxing, but because I'm self-taught, I will also not go and suddenly lift really heavy weights because I don't want to get injured. And there's nobody watching me, so I have to be mindful of that. So if you do have a trainer or a coach, it's great that you can get help from those resources to guide you better. But at the end of the day, the only person who you are accountable to is yourself. And if you feel you want to show up for yourself, you will do it. And you will not need your coach to tell you to turn up at the gym. You'll just find a way.
Yeah, so an interesting point, the more and more people that I talk to and whoever reaches out to me for guidance, first is if you have seen, I have never preached or posted anything on my social media saying that this is the exercise, or because I genuinely know and understand and believe that one size doesn't fit all. Now you can definitely do a chest press form or a push-up form. You can show those forms, but it might not be the right movement as per your biomechanics. That's one. The second most interesting thing is most of the people, they choose to exercise to correct a bad diet.
Yeah.
Think about it, right? So I have met so many people, they say, okay, my food is not in order, so I'll go to the gym and extra jo bhi khana khaya, jaake burn kar lunga. So that approach, right? So that approach of alienating diet from your physical exercise or physical regime is something that I think pushes people leaps and miles behind their fitness journey, because these things go hand in hand, right? And in your case, you started aggressively with a do not eat list, then you graduated, then you understood. Now how is it going with you in terms of your nutrition part of your fitness regime?
So some things which anyone who's on a diet will say not to eat, I do eat them. For example, I will always get a mocha for my coffee. A lot of chocolate. I don't, my breakfast is always a sweet breakfast. I need the sugar to keep me going. And I straight away have dinner. And okay, I have a lot of coffee in between. Maybe another cup of coffee or two. I drink. It's not like I'm not drinking, but not every day, but like whenever, it's okay, in moderation. So, but I don't eat carbs, simple carbs at all. I haven't in 15 years, like nothing. But I eat everything else. I'm vegetarian, so that kind of helps. But you ask me where do I get my protein from? I don't know. If I was eating more protein and more protein powder and all of that, I would be a little bit more bulked up. But because my nutrition is just very high sugar, I don't if it's the best example, but things that I gave up, I just never got back to eating them. So that's still something which is where there's room for improvement. And I think I'll probably get around it at some point, and I'll start eating the things which I used to love before, but I'm not there yet.
So don't you want to, your physical routine, I understand that you have graduated mentally, you have moved to a better sustainable solution, but what I hear from you in terms of your diet, right, it definitely genuinely needs some sort of rejigging and rework, right? And if you acknowledge that you're saying that I have to relook at it and probably see what can be brought into the diet. So what stops you from doing that?
It's just a very complicated relationship with the whole diet, which just started, and I'll still eat like the things I make exceptions for. You'll be like, okay, but I eat samosa, which is fine, but if you ask me to have a bowl of rice, I will not eat it. You give me paratha, I will not eat it. But it's just I don't know how to explain it. I will come around it at some point, but that day is not yet.
But are you consciously making some effort to reach there? Do you seek advice from people who are sort of ready to coach you or something like that?
When this was the case, like say 15 years ago, and I lived in India, my mom was there, so she would see what I was eating and she would be really concerned. Now I'm here in Singapore, so I don't get monitored that much, so I can get away with whatever I'm eating, and there's no one to tell me what to eat, what not to eat. I do intend to. And the funny thing is, now people think it's so great that you don't feel like eating these things. I wish we could actually give up on these things. I don't think you should give up on these things, because I think I've gone to that extreme where I'm not able to come back to it. So don't give up on it. Just keep it less. Don't give it up to that extent that you're just scared to come back to it. So that's still a little bit of a challenge for me, but
I've not actually I've not met or spoken to too many people with like you, who's like sort of given up on something, will not go back to it, right? So I think my coach once told me, once an addict, always an addict, right? So he had told me when I started coaching with him, and I was discussing my history. I said, I used to smoke, I used to drink, my lifestyle was all over the place, but I'm serious. I've hustled for like 8 years. Now I am in shape, but I have come to you to take my fitness and nutrition knowledge to the next level. And then I became obsessed like you, right? So I would wake up 4:30 in the morning, reach gym at 5. My whole car was filled with my tiffins. Then from there, from one side of Bombay, go to the other side in Nariman Point office, come back home, then go and do my evening workout twice, right? After driving like 40-50 kilometers through the traffic. And he said that it's no more, it's become an obsession. Fitness has become an obsession. And that's when he told me, once an addict, always an addict. You were addicted to something else, now you're addicted to this, right? So you are basically, you need some addiction in life, he told me, right? And I when I'm talking to you, it rang a bell saying that something of that sort, right? You just need that dopamine hit saying ki, okay boss, ye chhod ke jo maza aa raha hai, that probably cannot be a substitute.
There's a poster of a guy smoking a cigarette, and it says below that it says, find what you love and let it kill you. Okay. And I just identified with that so much. I was like, oh my God, everyone needs this in life. Everyone has something in their life which they know will kill them, but they love it so much that they're not going to give up.
I just hope it's a good thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing. I know what you mean. Yeah. But that's how it starts. I guess every kind of addiction or whatever you call it.
So which I realized, like I had to really hustle. I had to be obsessed with getting a six-pack or maintaining a six-pack. Unless you have that in your mind, as you said, right, so it's all in the mind, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, I also like started doing it like this because and I knew that there was so much energy from me. Where was it coming from? I had no clue.
Yeah.
Because the mind is pushing and telling me, boss, you can do this. So all the hustle, etc., the obsession which keeps on pushing. But yeah, on a serious note here, what we are trying to do is that's why in this podcast I try to talk to people who are not just the success stories, because I genuinely believe that there's a hell lot of learning in not the so rosy stories or from the failures in life or from the setbacks in life. There's so much that people can learn. So coming back to the nutrition bit that you said, that it's been 15 years that the promise that you had made to yourself and quit eating certain foods, somehow mentally you have not been able to overcome that challenge and get back to those food, and you are trying and trying to...
Actually, I'm not even trying, I feel. Because now I'm like, it's okay, you know what, this is a way of life for me. Just like it is to wake up in the morning and lift weights or whatever else I do. It's just become a way of life, and I'm like, okay, one day when this switch has to turn back, it'll just happen organically, just the way it started. But along these years, it's just been interesting to when you're actually competing with yourself, and when you're like setting up new challenges, that just becomes a little bit more fulfilling. And just wanting to eat aloo paratha doesn't seem to be that exciting for me anymore.
The priority also.
Yeah, it doesn't excite me. But I'm like, yeah, it's okay, I know what it tastes like, I can close my eyes, I can imagine it. I don't need to eat it.
Superb. I like you. Close your eyes, imagine how it is, and get over that feeling. So you are done and move back to your plain simple eating habit.
Exactly.
Yeah, not bad. But tell me something. The whole obsession and the rigor, right? It happens with me. That's why I'm asking you first. Then probably I can share my part of the story. If the same way that we are obsessed about fitness and we are obsessed about being a part of the fitness community, helping people, getting together, doing something, or individually, if nobody is saying, I'll still wake up at 5 in the morning and hit the gym. Even if there is nobody at home, I'm sitting alone on the dining table, I'll still eat the same thing. I'll not call for butter chicken. Right? So that spreads across to the other realms of life, do you think? Like in work, in relationships, in how you manage things generally in life?
Yeah, it's okay. So, in yoga, they say the way you show up on the mat is how you show up in life. I definitely believe that. If you show up saying that, yes, I have shown up, I have showed up, and therefore I'm going to complete what I have come here for, you will do it. And I feel that even when it comes to work or whatever it is that I commit to, I'm exactly the same. If I commit, I'm going to do it. Like, however crazy it may be, whatever, if it's a 200 laps or deciding to just do 500 sun salutations, I will not stop till I'm done. And I don't think fitness necessarily means there is an aggressive streak to you. It doesn't mean that. It's just there is an energy in you which you're just channelizing in a way that feels productive, and it just makes you happy.
So, busting the myth, usually the biggest guys in the gym that you see, those bodybuilders, huge guys, are the most nicest people on the floor. Just imagine, to reach that state, how much hustle they have gone through. Yeah, right. So they are no nonsense guys. That's why they would typically have the headphone or wear the hoodie and just do their own shit and then move ahead. Right. But they are the most nicest guy if you go and ask for help. Right. They will actually give you a demonstration of what needs to be done, because they know the grind. So when applied to work, as you were saying, right? Yeah, I feel that if I am a guy who is sitting alone on my dining table and nobody is looking at me, I still won't cheat, or I still have discipline, or I still have a method that I follow. So I think athletes fit the best in any culture in the organization, right? They build the culture of the cultural fabric of most organization: integrity, discipline, commitment, loyalty. I think these are the 4 things that all athlete would immensely respect. Yeah. I mean, let's not call athlete, but anybody who is into.
No, I call myself an athlete.
Yeah, I do. I have participated. I have legit participated in bodybuilding shows. So I call athletes. I have my medals and my certificate. While I'm an amateur athlete, but I call myself an athlete. But I think that there should be a segment in the recruitment form saying, okay, if you're an athlete, you get some brownie points and get recruited.
I think like how you have like your male and female gender.
Correct.
I identify as an athlete. There should be like
should be there. Should be there. I mean, because the athlete mindset immensely gives back to any organization, I think. I mean, it's like in a corporate scenario, see, it's like a competitive sport.
Yeah.
Like every company is competing with the other one, right? So everybody wants to be the best. And if you have these fleet or the group of people who are extremely disciplined and extremely process driven, extremely crazy, obsessed, I think because that spills over in all other domains of work. So I think the HR community, if you guys are looking at it, then should introduce a segment there.
But it also helps build community.
It does.
So I mean, you can have friends who are just friends for like fitness related stuff. We have a group in Singapore, a group where basically there's a group chat where all conversations are only related to fitness. Whether it's a new club, whether it's a new place to try yoga, or there's some offer, or let's do this challenge, and whoever is up for it, we do it. So it's just a community where it's like, hey, I want to go sailing. Does someone know where I can go? So someone will be like, you could go here. So it's like a support group, and it's not like we are discussing going for parties or anything. It's just fitness, and I mean I like to keep that specific one very sacrosanct.
Yeah, so the camaraderie of such a group, it helps, right?
It helps.
So to bond. So these people who are there in your group, right? A very specific question to me. I have my side of story, but these specific people do you bond with them also offline, outside the chat? Have you made friends, legit conversations over coffee or at the gym?
They're all my friends, and I know they've been interested in different areas, and I'm like, oh, you know what, I have this fitness group, do you want to join it? And they'd be like, oh yeah, of course, add us in.
So you set this up?
Yeah.
You set this up?
It's just a WhatsApp group.
So how many people?
I don't know, over a period of time, there were 30-40 people, but people kept leaving. I'm talking about a 10-year period. But yeah, the only conversation on this group is just related to fitness.
Gender agnostic? Is it gender agnostic? Then I'll join.
Yeah, of course, it is. But at one point in time, I was running some boot camp, so if they wanted to join, they could. Or during COVID, for example, we couldn't go anywhere, right? You were here during COVID, right?
Yes.
And we were restricted to groups of 5, 8, and no one could travel. So I said, guys, do you think we start an expedition called Expedition Changi? So they said, okay, what do we do? I said, so we meet at this point somewhere in center of Singapore, and we'll grab a coffee, and then we'll just walk to Changi Airport and literally touch it and come back.
So that would be almost 100 kilometers. Really?
So we started off, and I think we walked about 4 hours and a half, and then everybody just gave up. We were 8 of us, and the fact is 8 people turned up like on a Saturday morning and agreed to this crazy idea of walking to Changi. So while we did not complete that walk, which I was very uncomfortable about, how can I not complete this whole walk, but anyways, it was okay. We still did well, because the moment you sit, you can't do it. Okay, so then there was another time where there was a vertical marathon happening in Singapore, and I said, oh guys, there's a vertical marathon.
What is vertical marathon?
Climbing stairs.
Climbing stairs, as in you take a building and then you start.
Yeah. So walking. It was, I think, somewhere in Suntec City. So it was 46 floors. So I said, oh, but sorry, it's just 46 floors. So they said, oh, 46 floors is not enough for Sue. So I said, guys, my building is 25 floors. If you're up for it, why don't we create our own vertical marathon? We just do it 4 times. So actually,
so you created a parallel vertical marathon.
because 46 floors just felt like a waste of time when we could do 100 floors. And I'm obsessed with numbers. I will not agree to a number like 46.
So how many people showed up for this?
4.
But you guys did that.
So we did that in my building. So we basically climbed up 25 floors. Then we take the elevator down, then do that again, 4 rounds of it. And yeah, we felt great. After that, I decided that 100 floors was enough, but maybe I could do 250. So wow. I did that 10 times.
So what are the other crazy stuff that you have do?
So these are just things. Okay, it's not like anyone challenges you up for it. It's just a banter over a chat, and we decided let's have some fun. And there are some people who will always agree to your crazy ideas. I mean, that's why they are your friends, right?
So tell me, what are the other crazy stuff that you have done? That's my question. Can you think and let me know, because I'm sure you have a bag full of crazy fitness stuff that you have, where you have challenged your threshold and lived up to it.
Yeah, like I mean, I've disturbed a lot of people with my fitness, especially when there are early morning flights. So if there's an early morning flight, say for example at 7 a.m., I have to get a workout before I go to the flight. So that means I'm going to wake up at 2, 3. And if I'm working out in my room, so there was this one point in time where somebody rang the doorbell, and this neighbor comes upstairs like completely mad that who is jumping up and down on their floor. And
there was 2 in the morning before going to the airport. You're pulling out your workout.
3 a.m. in the morning, of course.
I can imagine.
Yeah, you can imagine. And Singapore, yeah.
Okay, what else?
Again, there was this one time I had a surgery. I was in the Raffles Hospital, and I was just off anesthesia, and they said we can't discharge you. I said, but no, you have to discharge me. I mean, I have to go home. So they said, no, we'll have to keep you till evening. So no way I was going to wait, because I was just itching to work out. And they said, but your blood pressure is still not up to the level it should be, so you can't go. I said, okay. I said, that's because I'm not eaten. So I just did 10 jumping jacks. I said, now check my blood pressure.
In the hospital?
If it's okay, yeah, I'm going to go home now.
You got to be crazy. In the hospital, you do that, and the blood pressure was okay.
Because I said I haven't eaten anything, so which is why my blood pressure is low. But I can get it back up. You just give me like 5 minutes.
And then you got discharged.
Yeah, then I got discharged. I managed to go because I just needed to go home and work out. And so
you went back home and
I worked out.
And sorry if you don't mind, you went out of a surgery. You were recuperating from a surgery. Wow. Okay. So
I mean, to be honest, people who know me enough, they don't even think it's a big deal. They just say, yeah.
It's expected out of you, right? So all these crazy fitness tasks that you sort of
I've earned a reputation, okay? So it's like, like some people are an example and some people are a warning. I don't know which side I fall on, but whenever there are these funny memes, the distance between Malaysia to some place in China is so many kilometers, and someone would say, oh, Sue would do this, and so I always get picked up. So I've earned a reputation over a period of time.
No, I mean, see, what I take away from this conversation on a serious note is mind plays a huge part in sort of living up to any goal that you set, right? It's there in your mind. The mind sets the goal. The mind helps you break the barrier to move towards that goal, and then set the next goal, right? So you started with you set up these boot camps. You took people for these challenges. You never thought of taking this as a profession. By the way, what is your profession, if I may ask here in front of the camera? What you do?
I'm a media professional. I've been in media, in research, analytics and partnership in the last 14 years.
So your journey in Singapore is 15 years long. So you have been a media professional professional in Singapore.
Yeah.
But before that,
I was also in media back in India.
Back in India, which city you came from?
I'm from Calcutta, and I was in sales, which was in media only.
Oh, okay. You were in media sales in Calcutta.
Yeah.
Which publication, if you don't mind?
Hindustan Times.
Oh, you were in Hindustan Times. Okay.
No one knew of that publication at that point in time, and again, just being able to sell that newspaper itself was just so much fun. Just I mean, you had to use such creative ideas to sell space. It was fun.
And your fitness journey, I presume, is longer than the 15-year stint in Singapore, right?
Yeah.
It started from when you were there in Calcutta, when you were in Hindustan Times.
Yeah.
So over there also you were doing. So you mentioned that your eating habits.
Just after a little bit after Hindustan Times, probably. Yes, I would still play squash when I was at Hindustan Times. I would do other things like go for horse riding and all that, but it's not like stuck in stone that I have to. And as I said, in India, if you're thin, you are just considered fit. So that's not the case anymore. So, but back in the day, that's how it was, and till I actually got fit again.
So we're talking about you as a media professional, professionally. So you started with media sales, then you moved here, then you're in research, media, the various domains of media, right?
Yeah.
So is that something that you are still pursuing or looking at something else?
Currently, I'm in between jobs.
Okay.
So, but I still intend to be in media tech as and when.
So what
let's see,
was
I might get into wellness. It's like a very interesting phase of my life right now. So let's see where it goes.
Yeah, because you have been talking about setting this WhatsApp group, building this community, calling people, age showed up, never mind, you will still go with it. So I get a aura from you that you have established yourself as somebody who is known to set up these challenges, basically you walk the talk, right? So if you are calling people, so they will come behind you. I think that's the reason I asked that if something in the same domain of fitness and community building is something that you would eventually want to look at.
See, currently, like for example, even the group of fitness, the friends that I have who are interested in fitness is a very closed group. It's a very small group. And it's not like there's no structure to it as such, just like there's no structure to my working out and what I do. And not like I'm posting about it on social media. It's just like very one-on-one or 1 to 10 kind of a sharing. So, and while people trust you, it doesn't make you as credible in the current day and age unless and until you're putting yourself out there and creating content and actively engaging with people, which is not something I'm doing. I'm passionate about it, but I am not doing it.
Yeah, I agree, because there is a whole slew of people out there selling this as a service.
Yes.
Right? And the more you are visible and the more you sort of show your skills, and if that's your bread and butter, I think those are the people who would demonstrate it on a day-to-day basis. Yeah. For you and me, probably we are passionate, but not yet pro in terms of career choice.
Yeah.
So probably the day it becomes a career choice, then probably we'll also have to forcefully go out there and be a part of social media.
I think maybe we will pivot at one point in time. And I attend a lot of these workshops, retreats, all of that. Pick up what I like from there. Maybe practice it for a period of time. But I also know what would work, what would not work. And if I were to curate something like that, what would I like to see? And I think I'd be able to do a good job with that. But let's see. As I said, it's an interesting phase.
So what would you like to see?
I mean,
so what's your dream state, your North Star? Just give me a blue sky vision.
Maybe I have my own fitness empire.
What do you mean by fitness empire?
Maybe something in the whole line of fitness, wellness. Okay. And it's not necessary that I am the one who is taking... I get the best of the people in the profession, to train you, whether it's and it's not just a physical fitness, it's also your mental fitness, also other things which are related to fitness, your nutrition, your other things which keep you in balance. And so yeah, overall, maybe someday, I don't know. Up until now, all I was thinking about was holding on to a corporate job, but I'm suddenly not feeling that anymore. So we'll see. Maybe I also start eating paratha again.
No, I mean, I'm for sure not going to keep that as a benchmark. I always thought, okay, my meditation is in the gym. And I feel
exactly the same.
Yeah.
I used to feel that when I used to go for a swim, because swimming is one place where you actually have to pay attention to your breath, because you have to be aware of the fact that you're breathing. And that used to be my meditation time. You're not listening to anything else except just breathing and just going with the flow. And that it just got me in the flow state, which is what meditation is. Coming into that flow state. Same.
That
running
helps,
does
right?
that for some people.
Yeah, right.
Lifting weights does that for some people. When I go for spin class, when I'm on the bike listening to that music, it's just that one point in time where I'm just able to think so clearly. So you just have to pay attention to what it is that gets you in that state sometimes.
Yeah, no, I completely agree, because the very source of our existence is basically we inhaling in and inhaling out.
Yeah.
And the most neglected part of our day-to-day exercise is inhaling in and inhaling out, right?
Yeah.
We only consciously take care of inhaling in and inhaling out when probably we are falling short of it while running or lifting weights or doing swimming or whatever. So somebody who consciously does this, I think it's a form of meditation.
Yeah.
It'll sort of holistically take care of your wellness and well-being. No, I mean,
and consciously, if you're able to meditate, what is meditation? It's basically sitting in a place and trying to empty your mind.
Yeah.
But I started going for meditation now, like recently. I find it very hard to actually meditate without movement. But actually, there are some people in Singapore who do movement meditation. You're actually doing walking meditation, which I think is quite interesting.
But if you're walking and meditating, are you more effectively able to keep your mind blank? Does that work for you?
So I'm going to share a podcast with you later, where this guy talks about finding your Everest. Finding your Everest. Everest is like the highest peak, which is finding your potential, which tells you basically to take a 12-hour walk without anything, no distraction, nothing. Set aside 12 hours for yourself, whether it means walking just around your block or walking from point A to the other, and you will just be able to access a different part of your brain just because you are with yourself and your thoughts. That is walking meditation. But it's a and this guy actually ended up inspiring millions of people to do this. This is on my to-do list.
You mentioned that you were not typically into fitness when you were growing up, light sports, or you would go for horse riding, etc. But when you were working, that whole phase of you working in Calcutta, I mean, so how was it there? Has the fitness culture evolved in? I mean, I know about Bombay, I know about Delhi, I know about many other Bangalore, but Calcutta is something that I am not too aware of. That's why I'm asking you. You keep on going, shuttling back home, etc. Are people more conscious now? Is the youth taking up fitness, or what is it like?
Yeah, I mean, people are definitely a lot more aware. Like, I think when I was growing up, when I saw someone in their 40s, I thought they're supposed to be much healthier and looking a little older. That's not the case anymore. You see somebody in their 40s and you easily can pass them off as somebody in like their 30s or something like that, because people are taking care. And it's just like, I don't know, people in Calcutta just party a lot. So I think they feel guilty if they don't work out. So I think because they party so much, they have to work out.
So that's the approach that I was talking about, right?
So you want to balance it out in some way, but at the end of the day, they are able to balance it out because they still, I can only see they physically look okay. They don't look like they have an unhealthy lifestyle or anything. So they're doing something right, but I also know they're not doing a lot of things which are right. So again, Calcutta is a very special city. It's in that sense.
So what were the top 3 things that you like about that city growing up there? So you were born in Calcutta, I presume, right? So what are the 3 things that you would, that the city would draw you back and you would do?
Okay, my family is there. I come from a joint family. Everybody is still there. Most of them are still there. I studied there, did my college there. So again, my friends are also there. And the city has not grown with time. It's still stuck in time. The exact same places that I would go to when I was in college, I would still go back to the same places. So the nostalgia with Calcutta is something which no other city can.
There's family second.
Yes.
What else?
Nostalgia, family, friends, food, but that also is part of it, and it just feels like home. I mean, I still think I can, if I want to do, if I would talk about doing some kind of a work there or whatever, it's very easy for me to like literally start right away. That level of comfort is there.
So tell me something. So this is a very important point that you mentioned, because most of the people who are working outside India find it very difficult to embed themselves back after 10 years or 15 years living abroad, not going back and staying, that's fine, but embed back into the working culture there. Right, so
Calcutta में working culture ही नहीं है ना.
so that's
तो कोई problem ही नहीं है.
Okay.
No, but jokes aside.
Okay. So it's like what? It's like fun there, nice and easy.
People just have fun. Okay. It's like there used to be this story we studied in literature, the land of lotus eaters, where all people do is eat and have fun. That's what people in Calcutta do. They really, I don't even know how it's possible. Maybe they call it the whole babu culture. But it's really true of Cal, and people are so warm. When I go back, it takes me 1 week, and I'm like, did I ever leave? And I don't feel like there's such a big difference in the mindset. I can start with my stories from where I left, and I still have the same friends that I had when I was younger, and they know my stories, I know their stories. We've seen each other through like whatever, getting married, having kids, getting divorced, blah blah blah, the whole thing. And so it's just very special. They know you inside out, and that level of comfort is just.
So I think that's the primary difference between the Bombay life and the Calcutta life. I can't say much about Delhi. I've lived in Bombay since I was studying till I came here. So now also when I go back, right, people are so busy in their day-to-day life that even to meet the bestest of friends, you will have to sort of, you can't randomly plan a meeting. I mean, of course you can, but because of the traffic, because of work and things like that. But I think what you're saying in Calcutta is like just...
It's literally like I leave from my house, मुझे चाय पीने जाना है. तो घर से निकलते I will call up 2-3 लोगों को, और जब तक मैं वहाँ पहुँचूंगी वहाँ पर मुझे वो लोग मिल जाएंगे. So it's like that. People are not too busy. If they are busy, they are really busy. Otherwise, कोई भी, like I remember last time I was in Calcutta, it was during Diwali time. We'd gone to somebody's party for cards or something. I came back home. It was quite late in the night. I think 2 or 3 a.m. I had a friend. She calls me at 3 a.m. She was like, "Sue, कहाँ हो?" I said, "I'm back home." She said, "अरे, I've just come." I said, "कोई बात नहीं, कल मिलेंगे." She said, No, nothing doing. तुम अभी वापस आओ." I said, "पागल हो क्या? I'm not coming back." She said, "तुम नीचे आओ. I'm coming to pick you up right now." But the thing is, and she said, "Singapore में कोई करेगा क्या ऐसा?" I said, "Singapore में तो कोई नहीं करेगा." You've got a point. I'm coming down right now. So the thing is, it's that warmth, okay? And these are people who will just pull you out. They will just not take no for an answer. And I just think these are the kind of friends you miss.
You know, fortunately, I have been able to build a community here in Singapore, in my friend network, like this. Like, actually, I have a friends group, active friends group, that I can call at 5:30 and say, "Aaj 7 baje, let's catch up." They all will be there. They'll leave their existing schedules and they'll come.
See, that's what you want, right?
Exactly, right? And it's like, you know, having a bunch of friends who you can call and not message.
Yeah.
Right. I think that's a luxury, right?
Yeah, that's a luxury.
How many people you would typically like feel comfortable to just call and talk? You would idly message.
Yeah.
That's something
But now
special.
I've started doing that. I've just realized, I think the old ways were great. Just picking up the phone and just calling. It's just so much nicer.
Yeah, I completely agree, because we have now somewhere warped ourselves into the whole
Because the whole thing,
messaging.
when you message, can I call? And it's like, just call.
Yeah.
That's what we did back in the day.
Yeah, I think we have to bring some of our old ways into practice.
Yeah.
It'll just help us build a better community.
Yeah, and feel more connected, happier, and not feel isolated. Oh, so and so didn't reply. Just don't wait for it. Just make that call. Yeah, there was this person who decided to go through the entire phone book, and call up every single person. Obviously, that meant making a lot of uncomfortable calls. Because obviously, but the challenge was you need to call up every single person who's on your phone book. So can you imagine?
That's a weird social experiment, literally,
actually,
right?
This was a social experiment, and I also put one of this on my to-do list. That I'm going to do this. It's going to be a lot of awkward calls, but there are going to be a lot of new stories, okay?
Because I think I have a lot of now that you say, right? So I have a lot of people in my call list, probably they wouldn't even know me. Right, so somewhere.
But if you take up this challenge, you just have to go in the list from A to Z. You probably will not finish that list, but even if you come till half of the alphabets, you'll be okay. Even if it's the handyman, okay.
So
even if it's your ex, it doesn't matter.
What are we trying to achieve out of this? Sorry.
It's just to get out of that inhibition. Why is it so difficult to just pick up that phone, and why do you need to prepare what you need to be talking to the other person about? Just pick up the phone and call.
Wow.
What is the worst that's going to happen?
Yeah, I mean, the other person will either not answer or hang up and refuse to identify you. That's it.
That's it.
Nothing more than that, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
I mean,
yeah, let's see. I mean, you started, and then probably I'll follow. I'm just going to the thought of just scrolling through my list in my mind and seeing the number of awkward calls that I'll have to end up making.
Actually, again, this idea came from a podcast, and somebody did it and spoke about all the awkward, and he recorded the calls, some of the calls, and how awkward those conversations were, which I felt was like.
No, I mean, crazy ideas from crazy fitness stuff to crazy diets to this crazy ambitions that you have to walk 12 hours alone and call everybody in your phone book.
Yeah.
I think we'll have a series of podcasts talking about your next chapter in your life.
Well.
Yeah, but today it was great talking to you.
Likewise,
and thank you for being candid, and you know, the best part talking to you is acknowledging and accepting the fact that take whatever you are sharing is probably not the best way to approach fitness and nutrition. It worked for you, it might not work for anybody else, but what I learned from this podcast is it's all in the mind. If you challenge your thresholds, if you set targets, and if you are absolutely disciplined about it, you can jump from a 50 lap to a 200 lap in a span of 3 days. So
and it's okay if people think you're crazy. Everybody is crazy in someone's world, so embrace it.
Thank you so much. On that note, cheers.
Thank you.
Have a good evening, and see you soon again on another round of podcast once you're done with the phone book social experiment. Thank you.
Thank you.